On the occasion of death anniversary of APJ Kalam Sahab, we have his grandnephew with us from Rameshwaram, Mr. Sheikh Saleem. Most welcome to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. Let me begin by asking you that every year on the death anniversary of Dr. Kalam, there are various events which are conducted, which are held in his remembrance. So what is happening this year, despite, we know that there are corona restrictions, but what are the events being held?
After 2015, the Kalam's demise, so we want to carry forward his legacy to the people of this country and the students. We started the APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation. All his vision and thoughts going to share with the people. So every year we are conducting some events which is benefit for the people and the students. Last year we are conducted with various parts of the country through visual virtually because the corona pandemic has happened. So every year we used to conduct in physical mode, but last year we conducted in virtual mode. More than 35,000 students participated, like allocation, drawing competition, Dr. Kalam's Missile Man of India, video competition, and quotes competition, like that we are conducted. But before that, in physical, we invite some people from which are the field they are benefited, like Mailchami Anathrai from the ISRO and DRDO from Sivadanu Pillai. Every year we used to conduct the memorial lecture to remember Dr. Kalam's his works and thoughts as a scientist, as a teacher, the President of India. After that, there are so many events coordinated with the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation.
Yes, Mr. Saleem, Dr. Kalam believed in the idea of inclusive India. He was loved by all alike, and he was a strong nationalist. Could you share some more thoughts on his philosophy?
No, not only in India inclusive, he wants to work for the entire globe. So he considered as a 800 million people he is born kith and so he is born and brought up in Rameshwaram with the religious situation where there are so many people with other religions. He want to provide some urban amenities in rural area. He called providing urban amenities in rural area like electronic connectivity, transport connectivity, knowledge connectivity. So it's going to the growth of this country. So that inclusive growth is made for this each and every individual and village. Only the India can become a superpower as a developed nation. So he shared all his vision for India Vision 2020 book also, and also the India Vision Beyond Vision 2020. There he stated some 10 points where when become a president of India, he provided that vision to the parliament. The 10-point was for inclusive development of this country.
Yes, and also he had a wide knowledge about various religions, including Hinduism and Islam. He was, he epitomized syncretic values of India, values which we believe in. What could you tell us more about this aspect of his personality?
No, this religion is part of this one individual. So, in India is multi-religious, multilingual country. So, consider Tamil Nadu is compared to Tamil language and other state is other language. So, that it comes to the religions, every religion he thinks is part of the same thing. So, what we call if you're in brotherhood, so we are all in Indians first of all. But things we are all Indians. See, give the importance to the Mother Earth and in India. So first it comes for any individual for the India is the first. He puts up India is first. Every individual work and thoughts to the for India only. So here religion is he visited all the temples and churches and mosques. Wherever he goes, he maintained for brotherhood for this country.
Yes, and I have no hesitation in saying that he was an ideal Muslim in the contemporary world. His life has been full of, his life has been inspiring millions of people. But before becoming a successful man, he had to undergo a lot of struggle, especially when he was a child. What more could you tell us about this phase of life?
No, in childhood, Dr. Kalam was born and brought up in Rameswaram Island, which he can study only up to 5th standard. So after the 5th standard, he has to go to Ramanathapuram. During the 5th standard also, for some help or money, so he used to distribute the newspaper. When there is a train come to Rameswaram, he collects all the newspaper and distribute all over the Rameswaram Island. Second is he has to travel Rameswaram to Ramanathapuram. There is a 60 kilometers. He has to go by the boat. Travel to Ramanathapuram for his studies for up to the PU 10th standard. So there are so many struggles. So he wants to study in physics in Trichy. So sometimes there is a problem for paying the money for fees and hostel. And the only thing is he used to stop eating the non-veg because of the fees was the non-veg is 140 rupees. The vegetarian is 120 rupees. So he opted for vegetarian food. So he refused for non-veg. So like that, he has so many struggles he come. And in MIT, Madras Institute of Technology, for scholarship, he studied for that. His professor was finally given some project he wants to perform in this MIT. So he given the deadline for 20 days or 30 days. There are five people for some kind of projects they are developing for the aerodynamics and flight. By the time he was working with these people at the ended, his professor was reviewed his project. And again, the guideline: I give you 5 days. If you are not complete these 5 days, your project will cut off your scholarship. But he's taken this photo and he worked for continuously day and night and succeeded his vision and he created a small flight. Okay. Second thing, the 1964 there is a cyclone in Rameswaram. He wants to come to Rameswaram, Chennai to Rameswaram. There is no money for him. So what he did, so he got some books for his studies. He lended that books for some more market. There is market for a lot of books. The people are buying and selling. So that books he kept there and he got some money. So he traveled to Rameswaram with his family. And thereafter, there are ups and downs. He joined in ISRO. He successfully launched the SLV-3 in 1977. There is a first failure. There are so many criticism from outside, and he take it that also as a things. And he succeeded in 1980. He launched again SLV-3. There are so many struggles he climbed, and he succeeded because he wants to give something to this country. So he carried all his vision to the President of India.
Yes, absolutely. And we have read quite a few things which you have told us in the books. But Mr. Saleem, tell us what are your fond memories of Dr. Kalam? Anything you would like to share with us? Any personal experiences you would have had with him?
Yeah, actually, when he was become a president of India, he invited all the people from family members. We requested family members, friends, and some relatives wants to come and see the swearing ceremony. But he accepted. But one thing his condition is, he will pay all the money and you have to come to Delhi. And also he booked all the tickets and the rooms, everything. Paid, even he became a president of India, he paid in his pocket. Same thing is did in 2004. He invited all the family members to Rashtra Bhavan. So he stayed there, 40 members. So he take all the paying for the guest and the food and the transport and everything. So there is something unique. So he invited people. So there is a option for him. He should become a president of India. He can do anything. But even whatever money he earned, so he want to pay for that visit for the family members, and he has a lot of love and affection. His elder brother APJMJ last March 7th is passed away, 104 years. After
Yes.
the father's passed away, he considered his father Dr. His elder brother. So he gives so much love and affection. And 2006, what he did, his age considering sent his brother and brother's daughter to Hajj pilgrimage. He arranged everything through his own money and did because his brother is 80. He want to give that Hajj pilgrimage for him and to provide the family members to become a Haji. So he supported all the way. But even he said he don't want to do anything in the Saudi Arabia. They will take the own image and they will come back. And also this is the ambassador of Saudi Arabia. So unique thing. So he wants to give all things to his people and the relatives and his sister brother, but his own way. So don't use any government property or government money for his own purpose. That's the unique things I learned from Dr. Kalam.
Yes, there are legends, And is it true that about his integrity, about his honesty, when the relatives used to reach Delhi, like you must have also been there, and then the relatives would come in the cabs and not in official vehicles, and then he used to pay the transport money himself. Is that true?
Yes, yes, yes. He will pay all the money. Whoever comes to visit, he will pay for his own money. That is
Yes.
true.
Yes. So, to tell us, Mr. Salim, that you also had the privilege and also the experience of working with Dr. Kalam for a long time. So, what did you learn the most from him during that period?
No, that's a great opportunity because after the 2007, the presidency tenure ends, he was in RajajiMarginAwazthevoice, New Delhi. I was in Chennai. He called one day, he come and join with me. We will work for some kind of national development. He said, I was in Chennai, how I can able to join? So he come and join with me, but I don't know anything what he is doing. But we know that Vision 2020 and Pura. But he said, you come and join with me. I will teach you whatever you want. I will teach you and you learn from that place. Then I visited 2008. I was joined with Kalam 2008 to 2013 with Dr. Kalam for 5 years. And also I started preparing for my civil service. So even I could not clear it for 3 times. But that is the learning platform from there. Dr. Kalam and Rajaji Marg. He used to, whenever I get free time, he used to call me for his office for some official work. He wants to visit various institutions and schools and industries. So he one day he called me in morning and said, "You prepare for some speech. So that tomorrow there is a speech in one school and college." So I said I joined at 10 o'clock. He said, "You prepare for this the content and I will correct you." Then I just he said there is a 2007 there is a speech in that folder and 2008 there is a speech in that folder. You can collect all the speeches and combined we created one speech. He said you start speak like me. So there is a projector, so I have to speak like Dr. Kalam continuously. So 2 3 times I have to speak like what are the things contents. Other he used to correct everything. But over time, there is a 1 year, 2 years. Then I started him. He just give me after that some information. You just prefer for this speech, and this is the college, this is the university. So these are the things you need to provide. So after the 1 year, I just started preparing without Dr. Kalam for some speeches. What I learned from him that there are two types. So usually we learn from school and colleges, but Dr. Kalam himself is a great teacher. Without knowing me, he influenced all the things how I can able to prepare and his speech and all the thoughts and all the quotes. So he influenced like without knowing me, he influenced me. So I consider he is a great teacher for my life.
Right, absolutely. And tell us how he's been inspiring you. But what are his qualities which should inspire the youth of today? How should they imbibe his qualities? What can you tell us? What are the words of inspiration for youth of today?
So actually, at the age of 80, Dr. Kalam used to travel a lot. Actually, in Angra, there is a one program. I was with him, Dr. Kalam. We started early morning, 6 o'clock. And when we reach Agra, we have 16 programs after midnight, 2 o'clock. 16 programs we attended, but after attending this 16 program, doctor not even get any tired and any sleepy. So that is the willpower of Dr. Kalam. He can do anything. That is the main thing. Dr. Kalam always carried the age of 80 also up to 80% when he was when he was visited Shillong. He wants to do something. He wants to give something to the people. That willpower is the main thing for these youngsters and the students for this India.
Right. And how do you plan to carry forth the legacy of Dr. Kalam?
Yeah, that's why we are started because 2014 he called up all the family members and there are more than 40-45 members. We celebrated that. We discussed about do something, okay, because um, after these things, so he planned for this. So when we don't know what he's when going to pass away, but he planned for this foundation activity to carry forward his vision, thoughts, and everything. So we started after his passing away, 2015 October 11, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation, with the support of his colleagues and friends. So say what the Vision 2020 and beyond, and what the Pura providing amenities area, and the most of what Dr. Kalam used to visit the students, we are the same thing we are doing. So always we are encouraging the students community to do something for innovational kind of thing and creativity and motivational kind of thing. Last February also we are launched for 100 Prometheus satellites for balloon. So that's also one of the biggest vision of Dr. Kalam, to provide some basic inputs for the students for making satellites. So we coordinated with the Government of India and the Defense Ministry and ISRO in Rameswaram. With the help of more than 1,000 students, we are assembled the 100 satellites. We are launched successfully in Rameswaram. So we got the data from more than 58 satellites. Now there is a classification going on for the weather or seed permeating, and which 15 experiments we are done. Like that, we are doing so many projects for students community. Now this year also we are conducting with the students for painting competition for the future India, robotics and machine learning, because we are in advanced level. So we have to go with the students' mindset and the curriculum. So now we are going with the robotics and the machine learning with the students.
Yes, wonderful. Uh, we at Awaz the Voice are also holding a small painting slogan contest to remember Dr. Kalam. And we've got, let me tell you, we've got a very good response. School children are sending their entries, and the topic is 75 years of Indian independence.
Yes, yes, nice.
Uh, uh,
Wonderful. Student.
but please tell me, sir, that government had announced to make a library and a memorial in the memory of Dr. Kalam. Uh, what's the progress on that front?
No, that the first part they are proposed and they are constructed. Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated 2017 July 27. After that, they have some planning for constructing knowledge center along with library and science museum. But
Yes.
there is some issues for acquiring the land from the state government to central government. So that project was there is a in between, there's a dialogue between the state and government. In between there's a corona came for 2020, so the entire project was stopped. So we cannot not even move on in a single point. Now we have requested again the Prime Minister of India to
Yes.
consider for constructing this knowledge center and the library. So through
Yes.
that, you also we are requesting Honorable Prime Minister of India to consider our request to construct as soon as possible. For there are so many people are visiting that memorial. I think right now up to 2020 January, 85 to 90 lakh people visited.
Yes.
So students also very eager to come and learn from Dr. Kalam. So we can showcase something to the student community. That's the main request from House of Kalam, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation.
Yes. So this knowledge center now you're proposing to run from Rameshwaram, is it?
Yes, yes, yes. This completely this memorial constructed and maintained by this DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, under
Yes.
the instruction of our Prime Minister of India.
Okay. So the work is in pipeline. You know, it will take
Yes,
some
yes,
time
yes,
to
yes, yes, sir.
start.
They are planning to construct.
Okay. And also, you're running a foundation in his memory, and it is, you're doing various things both in India and in other countries internationally. Can you share some more, information about that?
Yeah, actually, the KPJ, what we call the KPJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation, not
Yes.
only we are working for Indian people or Indians, but we are working for the globally. So there are so many NRIs staying and studying in abroad also. That's why we called the KPJ Abdul Kalam International Foundation. Last year, is October 15th, is 89th birthday, we invited His Holiness Dalai Lama. So
Right.
his last topic was when he was in Shillong, 2015 July 27. His topic was how to make this planet more livable. So that is the
Yes.
last topic Dr. Kalam wants to share with his IEM students. So that topic we picked up and we invited our His Holiness Dalai Lama, and we collected 20 students from across the globe from 5 continents, different countries. They can suit the questions, and also we given message to the people how the peace and compassion with Dr. Kalam's Dalai Lama's work with for this peaceful country. How do we make it? Like that, we have provided some kind of peaceful work to the students and our people. So
Right.
this international foundation, as they have a chapter in Singapore, also we have a chapter in Saudi, we have a chapter in various part of this globe. So they are working together for making some kind of support for our foundation.
Right. And, Dr. Kalam had so many facets to his personality. Other than being an illustrious scientist, he was also a music enthusiast, and he used to love nature. What more can you tell us about his facets?
Dr. Kalam used to walk per day 1.5 hour every day when he would get the time in RajajiMarginAwazthevoice or Rashtrapati Bhavan, wherever he works. He used to walk for 1 hour or half an hour in morning or afternoon or evening or in midnight also. So he has the love and affection of the nature and the birds and whatever animals he see, because we are living in with very hard industrial things. So he wants to observe some natural thing from the trees and the nature. So there is a tree, 10 Rajaji Mark called Arjuna, that is 100 years old tree. He wrote my tree in my home. There is a one poem. That poem he wrote by Dr. Kalam. We used to walk when I was in Delhi. Then we used to walk that tree continuously 10 rounds, 29, 50 rounds. So that tree is 100 years. But Dr. Kalam one day he asked, "What you learned from this tree?" He's giving some message to us. So what you learned from this tree? He said, I don't see anything. But he's simply walking for another round. He continues asking, what you learned from this tree and what you use this tree. After some times, he given some poem to me. There is a my home tree. That tree is asking Dr. Kalam, you are standing in 100 years in that place. What you are doing and what you are giving. Then the tree is replying to Dr. Kalam. Dr. Kalam, you are walking every day and night, and seeing me. Just to look up my head, there are some birds are sheltering in my branches, and also some peahens is there in my roots, and honey hives are there. Even I am giving oxygen to you when you are walking for this year. For giving, I am living for more than 100 years. That is the message was Dr. Kalam given. For giving, we receive, and also we live as a young. So that is the main. He loves the nature. And also, yeah, when he was in Rashtrapati, also there are peacocks, there's a broken legs. He was with the doctors. He admitted that peacocks and he get well for his prayers and everything he will do. So whenever he goes, he used to plant for the tree wherever there is a college or school and everything. He wants to plant at least one tree for each and everyone. So if you plant one tree, there is a mission for Dr. Kalam, 130 crores people, at least plant one tree, so we will get 130 crores trees across our India for the environmental protection.
Yes. So the hope that the love and respect of Dr. Kalam will continue through the generations. We thank you very much for being with us. It was a great pleasure for all of us. Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Namaskar.